Welcome to whoever just joined the stream. Thank you. Feel free to join the, say hi or not. Hello.
How about yourself up to it?
I am.
So what are you doing? You're doing
Streaming.
You're not talking.
Nobody's here at the moment. How'd it go?
What's up? Did you make his pizza?
I left the whole pie downstairs.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So she highly recommended doing the pie.
Okay.
She said it's a very good idea. If it's something you always wanted deep down, you should do it. So what was your idea about that you said you were going to tell me?
Well, I think we look into the whatchamacallit, the adoption, and we see how feasible that is on a timeline. Because honestly, we want them sooner rather than later.
Yeah, so I don't want to wait too long. That's what I'm saying. If this adoption is going to take forever, I'd rather just buy a puppy.
Yeah.
So can you look for what word has around here?
Yep.
Some really cute. Like, look for the one that I was telling you. If anywhere has a Chihuahua Terrier mix,
Uh-huh.
or a Yorkie, or a. I'd be okay with a Pomsky too.
Well, if we go to a store, we'll fall in love with something.
No, but I just don't want to randomly go
I mean, I have the feeling. I mean, look, we just looked at that window, that time, and.
Well, can you see where there's ones around that are open now?
Yeah.
Maybe we can go after the 13th day.
Yeah, we can do that.
So can you check what's around, and maybe they want on the website what they have available.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Because I want one sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Because if we wait, I might change my mind. Something, like I don't want to wait. If
No,
this is what we're doing, I want to do it now.
I get you. After the stream, I'll check.
What? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's good. I think it's good. And I'm finally ready. I think I'm finally fully ready for it.
Yeah.
I thought about it, and I think it's good.
I agree.
Okay, so let me know what you happen to find.
All right, Boo-Boo.
Love you.
Love you too. Hey, People's Champ. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. How are you on this fine Friday afternoon? Just trying to run through, get some milestones, not get parried by frickin' Nightcrawler, but things happen. Yeah, I clocked out early for today. I didn't want to be working anymore for a Friday. Just finished, had a little pizza for lunch and started the stream. So what's for lunch today? That is always an important distinction. Delivery is the best. I got Pizza Hut because it's cheap. 2 pies, everybody in the house can have some, and everybody's good. Steal those buffs. Yeah, just, trying to get the channel up and running. Yes, the pizza was good. Got a little stuffed crust. Very happy with it. Did you see the notification on Katie's page? That's how you found the stream? Nice, nice. Yeah, this all, like, I'd been thinking about it for a little bit, for a while actually, and Prof said something yesterday that for years he had like 50 subscribers, before he really started doing the Mcoc stuff. And I made a joke to him, and I'm like, I got 20 subscribers and I don't have any videos. And turned around, and like 5 people on the stream went and were like, I'm gonna go sub to you. What content are you gonna do? And I'm like, well, I guess I'm live streaming. Especially since I have no crystals to open right now. Thank you. Appreciate it. I am actively doing my best. Trying to run some longer streams, give people more of a chance to jump in, say hi. Just seeing where it goes. Hopefully it takes off. Hopefully, people start joining and enjoying, chatting and everything. Obviously, I know there's a lot of great YouTubers in the community, so, and there's only so much time in the day. Oh, makes Arena a little more fun. Have somebody to talk to instead of just mindlessly grinding. Let's do a synergy team, why not? Where are you, Nebula? There we go. That looking. I still can't figure out Cole. I'm not good with him. I know he's supposed to be a parry heavy champ, and I'm just not way too lazy for that in the arena. Yep. Running directly into a heavy and then an intercept. You know, we think Katie face blocks. Just wait till everyone starts watching my channel. Not quite enough distance there. It's okay. Trying to play with both the charging cord and the headphones plugged in. Every time I take my hand off the phone for a second, it's just impossible to navigate your way back in there to a comfortable spot. So close. Hey, Master. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Just hanging out in here, doing some milestones, and, maybe if some more people show up, we'll do something else. But, just trying to hang out, get some stuff done. I'm probably about halfway through the 6 stars right now, so that's going pretty well, pretty speedy. Appreciate that, Master, More people saying hi, the better. Oops. Totally forgot, and I already used Wasp for this run. No synergy today for Ghost. No, this isn't going well. Honestly, I have the Awakening gem for her. I didn't have the T5CC, but I think for overall utility, I'm waiting for Warlock. I have a 565 Ghost, and at the moment I just don't see the point in having a second one. I'll probably cave on that opinion eventually, but I think I'd honestly be more interested in either a 2099 or a Warlock. It always is interesting, bird in the hand, two in the bush kind of thing, because, I have Ghost now, so I could rank through her, but, I don't know. Just rather do someone different, someone newer. I was about to do Mysterio before I pulled Ghost, and now I can't justify ranking him over her. Oh. Hey, Boo. This sound any better? I think I may have been laying on the cord a little bit. Oh, stretching out with these headphones. Oh, we lost Master. Down to me and you, Boo. See, when we get the puppy, we're going to have to put the camera on, and we're going to use, Oh, Master, you're back. That would be funny, Master. Ranking up Hulkbuster. I don't know. If the beta is good enough, I would consider it. Hey, Anton. Welcome to the stream. Getting wrecked by an OG Vision, but we're getting through things. Thankfully, it's just Arena, and You know, doesn't actually do that much damage. I've actually got a lot of tech 6 stars, Master. I've got like 64 6 stars overall, so I guess I have a lot of every class. No, no, don't do this to me. No connection issues. Come on. The stream's fine, but the game's messed up. Gotta love that. And I can't even claim props problem. This is New York internet. And it still sucks. Ah, there we go. I started a war fight earlier today. And by the time the game loaded, it was already, the timer was at 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Anton, the only way to get OG Vision to this point is to pay for him. I believe the last time that he came out, you might have been able to get him for 3,000 units, so you might have been able to get him free to play. I think the 6-star was 15,000 units, so again, technically free to play, but what free to play player has 15,000 units, just laying around? He's not in the crystals, and Age of Ultron Vision isn't in isn't a 5-star or a 6-star. So very, very infrequent for people to have 5 or 6-star vision in any capacity. Your war's going on, Master? Ours just ended. I guess people are on different schedules. I thought everybody was on the same one. Because placement's not for another 3.5 hours for me. Oh wow, I did not know that wars were on different schedules. What tier are you in, Master? Maybe that makes a difference. Yeah. And Anton, I've never found the reason to unlock OG Vision. It just wasn't worth the effort because you had to pay so much just to get him, or whatever, and then or save up so much to get him, and then you still need to rank him. You still need to do everything else involved. And I was like, that's all for one character who's honestly still only utility and barely more than a trophy champion. Ah, okay. You'll get there. I've been playing for a little more than 4 years now. So, started in 2016, basically right after I got married. So, March or April 2016 is when I started playing the game. It was funny because at that point, the way everything was designed, Map 4 was the first map that had cost to it. And because of how the difficulties worked out and everything else, no one ran Map 4 back in the day. You either ran Map 3 as free maps, or you ran Map 5, and that was the highest map when I started playing. There was no Map 6 or Map 7.
My initial noob decision was the first time I ever got a... oops. Don't attack into unstoppable, kids. That never works. First time I got a 4-star awakening gem, it was Mutant. And silly me, I had a Deadpool X-Force, and he was my favorite character because, you know, it's Deadpool. So I decided that I'm going to awaken my Deadpool X-Force. And of course the problem at that point was that was when willpower was still very powerful and very strong, and the awakening actually made Deadpool X-Force worse than he was, because you had these tiny little bleeds that barely did any damage. You had to wait till your L2 to get a bleed big enough that it actually overpowered the willpower. And it's like, and again, other characters like Ant-Man was completely unusable. Not Iron Patriot. Iron Fist was completely unusable with the old willpower, because you fought anyone in war with those characters, and it didn't matter how many armor breaks you stacked, they were gaining, 10% of their health back per second. You just could not overpower it. I think that's one of the problems with Kabam, though, is, was that too powerful? Yes. Was there something in between that they could have set up so that, we didn't get stuck with what we have now? Definitely. Poor Scarlet Witch. She was the answer to all life's problems back in the day. Now she can't even be used. You could go into any content with Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, and OG Thor as duped 4 stars, and you basically could handle any problem thrown at you back in the day. Obviously, defenders were much less complicated, and nodes were also much less complicated then, but those were the those were the times. I really actually tried really hard to get OG Thor back. He probably got the least nerfed out of all of them. The only problem is there's so many champs that are hard to stun now, so he lost his value in that sense. Any champ that's relying on stun is hard to take advantage of nowadays, or rely on, anyways. Oh wow, I'm already almost done with the 6 stars. This really does go faster when you're talking to people. Oh, welcome to whoever just joined. Looks like we've just got a couple more people in the stream. Thanks for hopping on. Hope you're enjoying. Almost done running through the 6 stars, so we're going to move to 5 stars in a minute. Throw something in chat. You want to say hi? Speaking of Iron Fist, I'm kind of curious to open that 2-star crystal they gave. There's like maybe a 5% chance to get Hitmonkey out of there, which would be a cool little trophy champ. Yep. Started dashing in way too late. Netflix Daredevil's another champ who got really crushed in 12.0 because of diminishing returns. You know, you could go fights and you would never not crit on your L1 and your L2. And now you barely crit. You know, he's not unusable, but just not as fun as he used to be. How do I feel about Cavalier Crystals? They're worth it. Well, it depends. You know, if you really grind arena and you're really getting units, you know, left and right, and you want to open a few, they're fun. They're definitely the best valuable crystals in the game. I would not, like, Grandmaster don't even hold a candle to them. I would use units basically to get to Cavalier over opening Grandmaster crystals. Basically, what you want to do is you want to get through the content that you want to get through, and then with what you have extra, if you're comfortable with, you know, using those units to try for a couple champs, try and get lucky. But, you know that, like Prof says, when he puts like those win threads together and, you know, the best of the best crystal openings, there's a reason those videos are only 5-6 minutes or whatever, because, you know, for the hundreds of thousands of people that are opening crystals, those are the lucky ones. That's not the usual. So I say get your masteries in order first. Get your do content second, and then once you're at a comfortable place with all that stuff, then maybe look into some cav crystals every once in a while, or set a budget for yourself. You know, 1 cav crystal a week or something like that. Or when you really want to try for a character that you have, like the Awakening Gem or the Rank Up crystals. I don't like the fact that you can't bring 3 and 4 stars to Act 6. You know, there's already diminishing returns. There's already challenger rating that makes them worse characters in that type of content. Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to bring your 3 and 4 stars. It's a complete cash grab. And to that point, I agree with you. I think that at minimum, the Cav Crystal should be 4 to 6 star characters. I don't think 3 stars should be in the Cav Crystal anymore. At least at that point, what you could say is, even if you pull a 4 star, you can't use it, but it's giving you 5-star shards. You know, a 3 star is can't use it, and it's only giving you 3-star shards at that point. So, I mean, I couldn't bring my blade into all of Act 6 because I didn't have Ghost Rider. So I did not have the Trinity Synergy until recently, where I finally pulled Ghost Rider. Well, yeah. Well, 4 stars, 4, 5, and 6 all give the same ISO. So at that point, that would be okay. They all give the 24 bricks on a dupe. There we go. And we're done for now, for today, with the 5-star featured arena. So we're going to hop over. We're going to keep putting up points in 4-star featured. Fine. Yeah, honestly, I'm interested in what these changes are, what they're about to announce. You know, what's Cavalier difficulty going to be for the monthly quest? You know, what's the difficulty versus the rewards? You know, they need to be very careful because this is a sensitive time in the game right now where, you know, a lot of people are unhappy. People are quitting because, you know, they've reached the end and they don't see what's the next thing to achieve. And it's like, you know, we have these 6-star characters and people towards the top, they're rank 2ing them fairly easily. And then you just can't rank. You can rank 3 some of them, but you can't, you know, there's not a constant flow, even like one every few months, and there's no way to look forward to it. It's really like once Act 6 and Abyss are done, it's like, okay, I'm back and sitting and waiting for a year to get enough T5CC. Hey, Crash, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining, hanging out. And yeah, being free to play definitely has its advantages. You know, you just, you know, there's no not return on investment, lost value fallacy in being free to play, which is, you know, you never feel like, oh, I put a couple $100 into the game, so I should keep playing, so I keep getting my value or anything like that. It's you put your time in, you had fun, and if you put it down, you put it down, and you know, it's okay. Sunk cost fallacy. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. To all wondering, this is much harder than it sounds to, you know, keep the brain moving and be on top of things, not die to Omega Red, and talk to you guys all at the same time. Some little bit of Aegon on Aegon violence. We've got 2 good arms in this entire fight. I do say I gotta hate double hits at the end of combos. It's so hard for me to get the timing right to hit the combo to special sometimes. And no, I have never made another account for fun. I do play other games as secondary. I've been playing Marvel Strike Force for a while. I've got a pretty solid account over there. I was playing AFK Arena for a minute. I was playing Madden Mobile for a minute. I played the D&D game Warriors of Waterdeep. So basically I'm all over the place with my secondary games. MCOC is always number 1, obviously being in a top 90 Plat 1 Master Alliance. You know, that's always going to be the majority of my time. And then from there, you know, whatever else I have time for in between life, obviously. Yeah, that works. I do have people who I know who've made other accounts, and part of the problem nowadays is, you know, making an account is worth less and less and less. You know, they got rid of gifting, so you can't just, like, you know, log in every day, get some units or whatever, and gift yourself some revives. They got rid of resource dumping, so you can't, you know, run low tier alliance quests with a side account and give your main account the units, so, or give your main account the resources. So it's just, you know, every bit of it, you know, continues to be worse and worse for people with side accounts. Yeah. Of course, missed that parry, so Hyperion is going to pile drive me into the ground. And one more hit. So today's only Friday, so we got all of tomorrow. So I think we're only going to go for 4 million in this arena. Yeah, I get that, and I'm torn on both sides of the argument because, on the one hand, as a community, we want Kabam to be better to us and do things more with our best interests in mind. But then we rat out the mercs and, resource dumpers and gifters and get rid of all of them. And they were absolutely in every way pro player. They got us resources cheaper than what Kabam could do for us, in many forms. So I think we were our own worst enemy complaining about those things. Well, that's one way to waste some evade charges. I've never been in a mobile game where people taking advantage of the in-game economy was so frowned upon by the player base. Basically, any MMO is going to have some amount of what we call merking. I get, the only thing that I was ever really against was Alliance War piloting and Legend Run piloting. Those were actual competitive scenarios. Everyone should, be doing them on their own merit, and no one should lose out to a person who didn't really do it themselves. But, if you wanted, if you didn't have time or effort or skill or whatever it was, and you didn't want to run... I thought he would have run in first. You didn't want to run a map or something like that, that's your prerogative. If you just wanted the rewards and go back to playing your map 6, max 7, who's to stop you? Especially if a friend who's good is willing to do it for you and, they're not charging you for it or whatever. Much more lenient on that. I know certain YouTubers have gotten into fights with the mercs recently, and that's one thing I'm going to avoid doing is, bad-mouthing anybody specifically, so I stay out of those kind of conversations. Can't say I agree with them, but I'll stay out of them. Oh, good. I actually had to fight an Iceman for that side quest. It's funny, they have these Modok things. You get gold for doing these little single fights or whatever. And none of the champs are in the event quest that I've noticed. And you rarely run into them in arena. Today's the first time I've actually run into any of the characters they want us to fight in arena. Speaking of, I'm supposed to be finishing these fights with heavies, and I keep forgetting. Yeah, maybe next time. Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's we're all supposed to be a community, so purposely bad mouthing stuff like that when everyone's entitled to their opinion, it's not right. Poor Korg, poor Meek, getting used as a weapon. Damn, we've been on for an hour already. Guess it makes sense. Takes me a while to run arena. Not being on an Apple, I know that just instantly, makes me take more time. I could never do a legend run even if I wanted to. Yeah, if you ever see me have a legend title, I definitely marked it, because it ain't happening on this phone. Yeah, I've been playing way too long, Master. And use all my glory on T5B, Alliance hits good spot in War every season. We're good in NATO. So random phone calls in the middle of the stream. Find out what that is after. Oops. Not paying attention, getting heavied by Quake. It's funny, I saw a headline today. Oh yeah, definitely. Uncollected is a big one. Cavalier's there, and honestly, Cavalier is easier than Uncollected, especially nowadays, because that Ultron in Act 5.4 has a lot more counters. But there's no, super boss at the end of 6.1, because you don't need to fight the champion to become Cavalier. You only need to fight, you only need to beat Act 6.1, so it's not as bad to become Cavalier as it was to become Uncollected back in the day, especially with all the new characters and the counters and all that. This guy right here who we're fighting is actually the perfect counter to the crossbones that everyone has a hard time with in 6.1. Nice. Yeah, you're definitely getting there. Yeah, what you should do is scout out the lanes, pick honestly the easiest one in each one, because that's, don't kill yourself getting there. Is always my point. You can come back to the harder lines later. But yeah, there's always been good guides online, stuff like that, and just pick your path, scout out your teams, and scout out everything, and it's not as bad as it was when it first came out. Just have yourself a little stash for that final fight. Gonna need a couple of revives, especially when you're not used to him the first time around. One of the guys who was on yesterday I think he said he's going for Uncollected. He has some of the most luck I've ever seen on a 5-star roster that's pretty developed. He had every god tier character. It was the most insane thing I've ever seen. God. I remember 5.1. So that was a long time ago. Feels weird. A lot has happened in the game since then. Oh, did I screw myself up here? I totally did. Oops. Well, got a little cocky, a little greedy. That's alright. One time isn't gonna hurt anything. I mean, that is pretty lucky, dude. I'd be stoked about that combo of luck. What was it? Not this Christmas, but last Christmas I actually did that with, was it this Christmas? I don't even remember. But, oh yeah, it would help if I actually got rid of that. I pulled a Science Awakening gem. And I was kind of annoyed because I had just, like, taken time raking up Science Champions. And then that day, I did a crystal opening that I sent to Prof, and I'd pull Void for the first time. So I actually had a use for the Awakening Gem. And listen, dude, there's no reason to feel like a noob. You know, everyone gets to points in progression as they go. You know, and I will definitely tell you a lot of all of it is, and these pulls are pure luck. There's a guy in my alliance right now. Again, we're top 90. I'm pretty sure once the rankings come out, we're going to be in, you know, the bottom of the master bracket today. And if you saw his roster, you'd be like, how are you at that point in the game? He has just had the absolute worst luck I've ever seen of anybody consistently. I remember he saved up, he had Awakening Gems set up for one of the featured crystals maybe like 6 months ago, something like that, and he saved up at least like 10 to open right off the bat, and he did not get one feature champion out of the entire batch. It would really help if I was actually not getting punched in the face. I think I went to the Katie Candy School of Face Blocking. Yeah, my opinion, as long as you have a couple characters and you're having fun, you know, there's no reason to, you know, feel bad about what roster you have or whatever. You can only use 5 characters at a time anyways, so, and really when you're questing, you're using 2 or 3, you're not going to use the whole team. Blade is the only one of the 3 that doesn't need the Awakening. Magic, and especially Cap Infinity War, need to be not only awakened, but typically high sig in order to be good. Blade is the only thing Blade gets with his awakened ability is the healing on block under 70%, but that's not typically why you're using him. So you can pre-rank him and he'll still be mostly effective in the fights you need him on. Cap and Magic especially. Well, Magic, the Limbo is... Magic needs it less. Cap just needs it 100%, and he really needs to be at least like Sig 100 to get his full benefit. Well, hopefully this kills him. Oh yeah, that'll do it. But yeah, Blade 100% of the time out of those 3. Cap is actually my rank 3 6-star, so I do love him, but he just needs the awakening to be worth the rank up. I would finish off the Sig on your 4-star, take up Blade. It doesn't matter about having the 4-star cap. Eventually, you are going to want to take the 5-star cap up. It's just you don't need to right this second. Cap will get you. You still got 3 chapters in Act 5 to go. So he's still going to serve you well in there. But a 5-star can get basically 2 levels higher than a 4-star eventually. So again, you will want eventually to get that set up, but it's not necessary right this second. I think the goal should be getting Blade to either rank 3 definitely, and if you have a decent source of tier 2 alpha, get him to rank 4. He should, even undupe, he should be one of your top characters once you're able to rank him up. What rank is your magic at? I would get her to rank 3. That's perfectly fine spot for her. She still has some of the best power control in the game. Yep, with that SB2. And her Sig, while helpful on offense, it helps prevent mistakes, and you don't have to worry as much about getting hit because you're going to have Limbo up constantly. Her Sig is more defensive, and if you're going to put her on Alliance War defense compared to offense. I'd rank 3 her, depending on your other Mystic options. Somehow Mystic went from the best class in the game early on, especially with 4 stars, to a very average class later on. There are some good ones, like Sim Supreme and stuff like that, but even he is very situational. There's just no Mystic that I go to pull. I know everyone's obsessed with Doom right now, but there's just really no Mystic that I go to pull and just get really excited about it. Yeah, I agree. They can make Scarlet a 5-star. Problem is they nerfed her basically every single aspect of 12.0. Nerfed Scarlet Witch. They nerfed her Sig ability. They nerfed all of the abilities within the Sig ability. And then the underrated part of it was diminishing returns. Because, if you were around back then, what you would have seen was there were charts. And basically what you wanted to do was your entire team was Scarlet Witch and champs that had crit rate synergy. And your goal was to get one of those teams that at least had... damn. Did not realize I pushed him to an L2 there. Your goal was to make a team that had like 35 to 40% crit rate and just plug them with Scarlet Witch and go to town. And just use Scarlet Witch to clear entire maps. And, you can't do that anymore. So, she'd still be good, but I don't agree with the principle that they're putting out there that she would be as good as she was, pre 12.0 and the 4-star variant. especially with so many other characters out there now. I mean, the closest thing we have to an old Scarlet Witch is Black Widow Clairvoyant. And the big difference with her, obviously, is she can only do one thing at once. And that was the thing. And well, while you have control over it, that was the thing comparatively with Scarlet Witch, where she was literally just doing everything. She was healing, she was power locking, she was stunning. Just whatever you needed her to be, that's what she was. You know, I remember back when I ran Map 5, I would bring OG Cap and Superior Iron Man to AQ with me because they had 14% crit rate synergy to go with Scarlet Witch. This isn't going to be good. Don't get armors, please. Whew. Somehow survived that. You know, people would fight just to be able to fight more in Alliance Quest because there were certain, like, longer fights where you're like, I need those fights because I need to heal up my Scarlet Witch. There was no, like, worry about dying. Oh, nice. Well, you know, I'm hopefully going to be streaming most days, so when you have your poll, let me know who it is. You know, hopefully it's someone worthwhile. Sounds like you need somebody like Warlock, based on the classes you told me. Just somebody different. Warlock, Omega Red would be cool for you. Domino. Ignore my rank 4s as far as anything that resembles rank up advice. My rank 5s I actually think about. My rank 4s I more have fun with. That or I get, like, rank up gems and I'll use them on the character or something like that. Whoa. That was an interesting bit of lag. Oh, come on. Game has definitely been doing that a lot more often, where they are able to parry you off of heavies and specials and stuff like that. They are recovering way too quickly on these counters. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll be on for a little while longer. I think I'm gonna finish off the rank 4s here and probably go into Uncollected, use some energy. I haven't started yet, so I really should get going on that. I do like what they did with Modoks Labs this time around, where they gave the tickets to enter instead of just having to actually needing to do it every day. So now you just, you know, take a day when you're not busy, and you can actually go run through a whole bunch of them at once. The only thing I end up doing is I end up like going into a next fight in Modoks Lab and can totally forget to check what the nodes are. Hasn't burned me yet, but it'll happen eventually. I'll get one of those, you know, only villains gain power shield nodes where you physically can't do any damage. I gotta say, besides how energy intensive it was, I actually had fun with the rifts last month. Then again, I had ridiculous drops. Like, I just did not get sig stones in my top rifts. Maybe like 2 times. The only thing I kept getting that was annoying, because it was just such a small amount, was the 100 6-star shards. But even that you really can't complain about too much, because, you know, at the end of the day, 6-star shards are 6-star shards. I think we're actually gonna... Yep, that's basically your best plan. That is the way to do things. You either take the tech path with Captain Marvel, or you take the tech path with Corvus. Either way, you're in great shape. What's up, Bill?
You're still streaming.
Hmm?
Still streaming?
Yeah. Well, what's up?
Are you almost done?
Yeah, probably done in like 20 minutes.
Let me know when you're done, please.
Yeah. Maybe we won't go into Uncollected today. I think we may actually be finishing up a little sooner than expected. I think I'm needed around the house. I'll probably be back later. We'll see. We'll see how the rest of the day goes. I accomplished what I needed to in Arena, so that all works out. Yeah, we've already been streaming over an hour, so we've done pretty good. What do we have? Yeah, it looks like we've got 2 more rounds left of rank 4s, and then we'll call it a day. See if you can get your pull in before then. See if I can hold out for you. Whoa. What just happened? Huh. Well, this has never happened before. What is going on here? Let's try and exit out for a second. We may not have a choice, Master. It looks like we're crashing here, and I don't think it's going to be worth it to restart the stream at this point, only for a couple more rounds. So you'll just let me know next time, and we'll talk about it then. So I think we're going to get off now, due to circumstances outside of our control. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Thanks for chatting. It does make everything go so much quicker. And I'll see you next time, Master.